Although our history has been sanitized, come with me as we shine a black light in the home we call American history, showing the DNA that blacks have left on this country. It is June 24th, and welcome to another day in Black Light History. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host, Big A. Let's get into it. Born on this day in 1933 was Basketball Hall of Fame shooting guard Sam Jones. Jones would play his college basketball at HBCU North Carolina Central University. Jones was a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity and a four-year letterman before serving 2 years in the United States Army in 1954. Jones was the number 8 draft pick in the 1956 draft by the Minnesota Lakers, but he chose to go back to school and finish his degree, essentially voiding the pick. The Boston Celtics would take Jones in the 1957 draft, coached by Red Auerbach and teammates with Hall of Fame players Bill Russell, Casey Jones, Tommy Heinsohn, and Snatch Sanders. Jones won 10 NBA championships with the Celtics. When he retired in 1969, he averaged 17.7 points per game, scoring over 15,000 points. He was a 3-time All-NBA selection and was included on the NBA's 25th, 50th, and 75th anniversary teams. In 1984, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Jones would pass on December 30th, 2012, at the age of 88. Today we remember the life of American opera soprano Sissieretta Jones, known as the Black Patti, a reference to a famous at the time Italian opera singer, Adeline Patti. Jones was born in 1869 in Virginia, but was raised in Rhode Island. She trained at the Providence Academy of Music and the New England Conservatory of Music. She would make her music debut in 1988 at the famed Steinway Hall. She would tour the West Indies for 4 years. Upon her return, she was asked to perform at the White House for President Benjamin Harrison. Jones would perform for 4 consecutive presidents: Harrison, Grover Cleveland, William McKinley, and Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy was the only one that let her come in through the front door of the White House. Jones sang at the Grand Negro Jubilee in front of a crowd of 75,000 at Madison Square Garden in 1892. She would be the first black to sing at what is now known as Carnegie Hall. Jones would tour South America, Australia, India, Southern Africa, and Europe. Jones was the highest paid African American entertainer of her time. She would tour for over 20 years and retire in 1915. Sadly, she would be diagnosed with cancer and died in poverty on this day in 1933 in her mid-60s. On this day in 1947, former wrestler and actor Tommy "Tiny" Lister was born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Raised in Compton, California, Lister would throw the shot put at California State University, Los Angeles. He would win the 1982 NCAA Division II National Championship. In 1985, he would begin his acting career. It was his 1989 role of Zeus in the Hulk Hogan movie No Holds Barred that would spark a brief run as a wrestler in the WWF. He would return to wrestling in the WCW in 1996. If there is one thing about the 6'5" Lister, it is that he is noticeable. He would go on to star in movies like Posse, The Fifth Element, Jackie Brown, and Zootopia, but he is best remembered as the villain in Ice Cube's Friday movie franchise. Sadly, Lister would pass on December 10, 2020 from hypertension. Tommy Lister was just 62 years old. Today we remember Baseball Hall of Fame infielder Judd Wilson. Born in Virginia, Wilson would be drafted into the Army in 1918 and served in World War I. He would begin his Negro League career in 1922 with the Baltimore Black Sox. During his 18-year career as a Negro League player, Wilson batted a career .350 with 728 runs batted in. Satchel Paige would say that Wilson was one of the 2 toughest outs he ever faced. Wilson would hit .375 off Paige, and catcher Josh Gibson said Wilson was the best hitter in baseball. Wilson was a 2-time Eastern Negro League batting champion and a 2-time Negro League World Series champ. Wilson would pass on this day in 1963 at the age of 69. In 2006, he was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. The Washington Nationals have included him in their Ring of Honor. On this day in 1977, Houston Astros first baseman Bob Watson hit his first career cycle. A 2-time career All-Star, Watson would hit 4 for 4 with 5 runs batted in a 6-5 victory over the San Francisco Giants at the Astrodome. This next one is just pure nostalgia, but on this day in 1983, Peabo Bryson and Roberta Flack released their duet single, "Tonight I Celebrate My Love for You, peaking at number 5 on the R&B charts and 16 on the Hot 100. If you are old enough, this song is stuck in your head without me even playing any music. The song would later be used as Bo and Hope's theme song on Days of Our Lives. Happy 38th birthday to singer Solange Knowles. Born in Houston, Texas, Knowles is a younger sister to the Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. But Knowles has carved out her own career as a singer, songwriter, and actress. In 2017, Knowles released the album A Seat at the Table, and it was met with critical acclaim. Rolling Stone magazine ranks it on its 500 greatest albums of all time list. The album's only single, Cranes in the Sky, won Best Female R&B Vocal Performance at the Grammy Awards. Also in 2017, Knowles would win a Glamour Award and was the first recipient of the Billboard Women in Music Impact Award, as well as a BET Award and a Soul Train Music Award. Today we remember Olympic gold medalist Archie Williams. Born in California, Williams ran track at UC Berkeley. A brother of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Williams would set a 400-meter world record with a time of 46.1 at the NCAA Championships in 1936. That same year, he would go to Berlin, Germany, and win the 400-meter dash at the 36 Olympic Games in front of Hitler. Williams would suffer a career-ending leg injury that year in Sweden, but would finish college with a degree in mechanical engineering. After graduating, Williams was in the first civilian pilot training program class, earning his pilot's license, and became an instructor at Tuskegee Institute. At the beginning of World War II, he was only one of 14 blacks commissioned as officers in the Meteorological Cadet Program. Graduating in 1943, he instructed cadets in flight and meteorology. After the war, Williams would earn a line pilot rating and a bachelor's degree in engineering science from the Air Force Institute of Technology. Williams would remain a weather officer and rated pilot for the remainder of his 22 years in the Air Force. He would retire from service in 1964 and would return to California and begin teaching high schools for 21 years. Wilson would retire at the age of 72 and would pass on this day in 1992 at the age of 78. The high school where Williams taught was renamed Archie Williams High School in 2021. That concludes today's events. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to the channel, and remember, powers try to erase our history, but today can be the day that you achieve something that we can discuss next year on Blacklight History.